I'm Jordan Long, and today we're going to talk about this one thing that, happens. Now, it's not bad or anything, you know. I already made my film talking about why I want nothing to do with it and the overseen that one would fall underneath if one would become a YouTube mate. Now, there's a thing called YouTube Shorts or YouTube Small or whatever you want to call it. Small little films that someone can make or someone can take from someone's film and make short little films out of it. Why? I don't know and I don't care. But there are some folks out there who do care. Some folks out there who think that it was wrong for YouTube to put them all in it, you know. Now, first off, I'm going to say right now that as far as my ownership to my films go, or the fair work that comes along with it, or whatever, you know, it would be my word against anyone else's word as far as it goes. That's usually how it works these days. And I just keep away from that because there is a lot of a lot of misbeliefs about what is fair work and what is ownership, and you know, and it's so smooth, to fall into a bind with it. They be like, well, you know that you thought that you well, I thought I was doing everything in fair work. Well, you thought you were, and you thought by only working with a small chunk, a small break of my song, you thought it was fair work. Well, guess what? It's not. Even if you do everything, it's fair work. You still gonna have to fight me over that. Why would I have to fight you over it, Buzz Lightyear? You know that it's no longer the same kind of work. That I did everything that I had to do to make it fair work. Yeah, well, you still worked the song, and that's still owned by me. So even if, you know, so even if you think that you did everything you had to do to make it fair work, it's still not fair work. Yeah. Why did I get myself in this bind in the first stead? I don't know, because you thought you understood ownership law and you thought you understood fair work, but you don't. Well, it's true. I mean, at the end of the day, it's true. There is a lot of things about ownership law and a lot of things about fair work, which a lot of folks, don't understand, or they believe they understand, you know. So many folks out there, they do things which they believe or know happen to be fair work, but at the end of the day, they still get in a bind over ownership, you know. So yeah, and I know what I'm doing right now would be seen as fair work, or I don't know. But then again, dolls really can't be owned by anyone. I mean, they were made for everyone to play with, so it would be hard for any business out there, to say that, oh, it would be like Disney saying, well, you know what? I know I'm in your film and all, Jordan, but Disney believes that since they wants to put ownership on a doll, and now they're saying that you can't have me in your film because they own my selfhood. Yeah, that might be true, but as far as dolls go, dolls or toys or whatever you want to call them, were made for everyone to play with. So it would be hard for a business to get ownership over all of that. It might be trade owned, meaning that the business might only have that business is the only one that has the right to either work with that name or whatever it is, and if someone else would, they would be in a lawful bind. Yeah, I guess you're right about that. But you never know. You think you know everything about ownership law and fair work, and there's a lot of folks out there who believe they know everything about it and they still get in a bind, you know. Yeah, well, I keep away from ownership law or whatever. I keep away from even fair work because at the end of the day, that's not going to shield you. If someone out there wants to say you're not following their ownership when you say you got fair work, you I don't want to go for that, you know. And the grounds to why I never got in a bind with ownership law all this time because I'm small, I'm not well known, I'm not making any kind of income, and I'm not doing anything that someone could get the upside on if they did want to do ownership law or whatever, fair work. But at the end of the day, I don't really know. Still, this day, there are still a lot of, and the ownership law for stuff has been around for years. So at least, I don't know, it's been around for a long time. Even though the interweb has only been around since, I'm going to say, I don't know what, since 9 between 91 or 9 between 90 or something like that. 9 between 92, well, something like that. So the ownership law over stuff on the interweb has always been, whatever. And a lot of folks out there seem to believe that the ownership law needs to be rewritten. Well, rewritten or not, it's not going to shift what fair work is and what ownership over the work is, because at the end of the day, the laws are not going to be rewritten, But at the end of the day, fair work is a thing, but at the end of the day, you always have to keep in mind that it's your belief or thought that you've done enough to your work to make it become fair work. And some folks have done enough in their belief that they've done enough to shift the work so it become fair work. And some like me are not bold enough to even go down that road because either know how well you think you have made your work, knowing how many things you've done to shift it, you could still be in a bind with ownership law, either when you say it's fair work. So I keep away from fair work. I keep away from ownership law. So if you like that film, then by all means follow me here at Jordan Long, or watch my last film I made over here. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you tomorrow.